can make a very real difference to a person's career. Romando James was educated at a time when school systems were less enlightened than they are today. And he says it has affected his working life considerably.
I went to a segregated school, and many of the teachers had not been properly trained. Most of the textbooks had been handed down, and by and large, I would say that the total curriculum was an inferior curriculum. There was a course offered that prepared students to take on a special skill or trade. And in my case, I had taken up interior decorating. That amounted to me going into a furniture store, wiping off furniture, and placing chairs into different corners. As far as the real theory and the real applications that were needed in order to become a successful interior decorator, I knew that that didn't exist, and I was only kidding myself if I said it did. That was one option, and I had to choose between that particular possibility and going into college. I decided that maybe college could be a little bit more real than this type of thing. But I had not been prepared by way of my high school for that challenge of college. The other option was to work with my father, who was in charge of taking care of the different homes in that area as far as the landscaping and planting grass and clearing off land.
Romando would like to go to college, but he doesn't feel confident that his schooling has prepared him properly. Or he can get a job working with his father. What would you advise him to do?
My older sister went into college. I felt that if she could get into college coming from the same high school, then I too felt that I could try to make an effort to get into college. My major in college in the beginning was engineering and mechanical drawing. And I say in the beginning because I had one full semester of that particular major, and I was forced to get out grade-wise. I didn't have the science background, I didn't have the math background, and I just was ill-prepared. So I chose at that point to get into speech, drama, and the educational field, something where I could talk, and I could write, and I could draw on just some very common experiences. I thought that acting and writing could provide a platform in which I could communicate.
Romando put his talents to good use, and in spite of the setbacks he has described, he received his college degree and started a teaching career.
But after having taught for 1 month in Sarasota, Florida, I was drafted into the Army, and I got involved in public information. In other words, the Army was drawing off of my drama and my public speaking and my acting background. I was in charge of writing news articles and giving orientations to troops going overseas. As far as the options after the Army, I could have gone back to Florida as an elementary school teacher. And I was considering related Boy Scout jobs, and I got that contact because I was in charge of all of the youth groups coming into the base.
Many people's careers are interrupted by outside circumstances. For Romando, the Army provided many new experiences. It also uprooted him. He has distinct ideas about what his future can be. He is also free from family ties and can settle wherever he wants. With such unlimited options, how would you come to a decision? Romando looked into several options carefully.
I was most interested in acting at this point. But I was also a realist, and I had talked with a lot of individuals who had tried that acting field in New York, off Broadway, and I didn't know if I could pay that type of sacrifice that was needed because the acting wasn't as lucrative as I thought it would be. And I knew that teaching was a little bit more solid. I did look for teaching work. I had taught a month, and I had related experiences in the Army. And then at that point, I was appointed as a regular teacher. I hadn't forgotten about my acting, my drama. All during this period, I was involved in putting on plays for the school, for schools within the district, being contacted by neighboring organizations. Just about 1 year following that, I was offered a job at the Boys Club, really to be in charge of drama and entertaining. I took it on a part-time basis. They were trying new approaches, and they thought they would use entertaining, acting, performing arts, and drama. And I organized a musical group known as the Ebony Caravan, a group of boys and girls who hadn't any organized way of singing, dancing. Were able to provide a stage whereby frustration, whereby anxieties could be seen, worked on, worked with. And I thought my background and my expertise could best be used in a deteriorating city, a deteriorating community. There was a need to do something to enrich our community. At this point, I was being noticed within the schools for my involvement in the community as well as within the teaching area.
Romando became more and more actively involved in community affairs, and he left the teaching profession. Not because he disliked teaching, but because he wanted to reach more children than the traditional classroom allowed him to. He was offered a position as director of a group called the Leaguers, an organization which helped young people in his community.
The Leaguers gave me a larger classroom in which to deal. This particular job would give me an opportunity to work with 500 to 1,000 boys and girls. My job as the director was to initiate programs and to implement ideas of the community. Again, bringing in my drama and my music as a platform for growth. After 7 or 8 months of being the director, I began to realize that my aims and my goals conflicted with the goals and aims of the institution. And at this point, I thought that I was in the wrong place. I made a decision to leave the Leaguers. I don't move just to be moving. I feel that each move in a person's career should be one step closer to what he really, truly wants to do. I had several offers at that point. One included an opportunity to get even a larger classroom, directing a boys' club that was to be the model of boys' clubs. Another job was that of school principal. And another job was to undertake a special 4-H program. I knew nothing about 4-H. I didn't even know the pledge. I didn't know what H stood for. All of these jobs were investigated, researched, and explored because I didn't want to get into another situation whereby I couldn't express my needs as well as the needs of the institution.
Romando had found that his work as director of the Leaguers didn't quite fit his own personal goals. He has been offered 3 different positions and wants to make a careful decision. If you were offered a job and wanted to find out if it was the right one for you, who would you ask? Or where would you look for information?
My decision was to accept the job as a 4-H agent. But before I was hired, I was told that I could create, I could explore, I could innovate. In this particular program, I was offered an opportunity to really get involved with the performing arts and drama more than I had been in any of the jobs that I had had. The county would be my classroom. Now we're talking a total of about 20 to 25,000 young people. It turned out to be fulfilling. It turned out to be a laboratory in which I could explore. And I've been a 4-H agent now for 5 years. Basically, I'm involved in youth development programs. This includes almost every phase of education and performing arts. I am highly mobile, and I am always looking to reach more people, because I believe deeply that 50 to maybe 60% of all the problems that our youth encounter in urban settings can very definitely be reduced to a tremendous degree in one of many of the areas of performing arts. And we've kind of proven that in the Union County area. At this point, I see my future working with larger and larger group of people.
Romando doesn't see 4-H as the final job in his career. His goal is to work with still larger groups of people. Have your goals ever changed? Do you think they'll continue to change, or will you reach a point where your goals are satisfied?